So, I have a confession to make.
What's that?
I saw Jaws when I was a kid, right?
Okay.
And then I never watched it again. So, I kind of never really saw it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
To really... So, yeah. I feel like I have to admit that.
Yeah. Well, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, though, and hear if you liked it or not, because that's the real question here.
Okay, so the answer to that is, wow. That movie holds up.
Okay. I was about to walk out.
Yeah. Dude, I can't believe... You know, actually, I think it's a fun thing to ask. Maybe this is too off guard to ask. Of like a movie that maybe you pretended to know or like in a social setting.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've lied about movies that I've seen so that it doesn't derail the conversation.
Yeah.
So,
then it becomes the whole thing of, what? You haven't seen it?
Yeah.
You gotta see it.
And the thing about most movies that people act like that with, they're either so famous that you kind of have seen because you know the context enough to hold a conversation,
right?
Or they're dumb enough that you could just guess what happens in the movie, and don't have to see them, and you could just be like, yeah, totally, I know, crazy, right? I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
So either way, I'm a fucking liar. Let's just
okay. That's fair. It's a strong way to start the episode.
Yeah. So I would really like to get into how good Jaws is.
Okay.
But before we do that, we got to get into these beers. So, Obi, please tell the people what we're drinking tonight.
Well, we got a Voodoo Ranger from New Belgium. It's a V2K IPA, which is a part of the rotating IPA series. It comes in at 6.9% ABV. And let's see, there's no cold read on the cans, but luckily there is a cold read on the box.
Hey.
So, it is as follows. Say goodbye to your life. Sorry. Say goodbye to your semi-charmed life. And what's up to a bittersweet symphony of grapefruit and guava, perfectly in sync in this hazy IPA. I see what they're doing there. Say goodbye to your life,
Say goodbye
Marco.
to your life. All right. Well, with that threat, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marco Dupa, and that guy right there is Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
What's up, brewskis?
And this is episode 324 of the One Beer In podcast.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 a.m. takes me to a place where I fit in.
No. We're going to get demonetized.
Yeah,
Marco.
sorry. All right, so this is the One Beer In podcast. The podcast where two brews crack open a brew and see where that one brew takes us. Again, my name is Marco Dupa. And this strong man and a half is Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Thickums.
Thank you guys for listening, watching, sharing. We are happy that you joined us, as you do, every week when you can. Like, share, and subscribe everywhere podcasts are sold, listened to, watched, drank, devoured, eaten.
And you'll get it every Saturday weekend.
Nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, I was just like... for some reason,
Yeah, what inspired you?
so Amazon Prime has like a bunch of classic movies on there right now. Not a bunch, but like a solid rotation of a solid selection rather
Okay.
of some classic movies on there, right? And Jaws is on there. Not only is Jaws on there, but like the entire series is on there right now. Jaws all the way up to Revenge. It's kind of weird.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, I'm not watching the rest of it.
No, you absolutely don't have to. It's one of those series where it's like you got the first one, you're out.
Yeah.
You're good. I mean, even worse than Matrix.
Yeah.
At least like we said, Matrix 2 has a few, redeeming action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But Jaws 2, no.
I can't even imagine because I've looked up some of the plot with it, and it's just like, oh man, this
I mean, by the end of the series, the shark is Jason Voorhees. Like, it's coming after that family.
right.
In particular.
Yeah, that's what I read, and I was like, wait, so it's coming back for them in particular? Like it's like really, it's a revenge story.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, I guess one of the sharks is like the mommy shark at some point. I don't know.
Gotta be, since they keep killing them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first one, I don't even know how there was a sequel. He was obliterated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, okay.
Spoiler alert for Jaws.
Right. Excuse me if you guys are like, yeah, that movie came out in the 70s. Marco, what's wrong with you? Why are you pretending like it's some brand new movie? Let me just give you a precursor right now. I am going to react to this movie as if it had come out yesterday.
Sure.
For a multitude of reasons. Number one, like I said at the top, I don't remember the movie at all.
Yeah.
So I've just been, anytime somebody brings it up, I'm like, yeah, totally, Jaws, classic, whatever. In the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going off of what Adam says.
As you should in general.
Yeah. If it's a movie I haven't seen, but you have and you've talked about it, I'm like, well, I'm just going to use that as my opinion until I see it.
Yeah, it's a shark thing, right?
Yeah, it's that shark movie.
It's good.
And number two, the movie is so good that it could have come out, like, obviously updated, I don't want to say graphics, but updated technology and things like that, which would have hindered the movie, by the way.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, plot-wise, acting-wise, thematically, like, if it came out, I mean, shit, there's still, and this is kind of what I wanted to get into with Jaws and what it's done to Hollywood in particular, is that they're still making shark movies.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, 47 Meters Down was like, what, 3 years ago? And it was a successful movie. People liked it.
They made Crawl recently, which is essentially a shark movie with an alligator instead.
Right. Which, I mean, okay. So yeah, it's, I don't know, man. It's just, so, let me get comfortable.
Oh my goodness.
I need to get comfortable.
Get comfy, please.
Because we're going to be here a while.
I would say even beyond shark movies, though, like Jaws is known as being the first summer blockbuster. Too.
Right. Yes.
So that legacy
I do know
is
that.
like
And that's
even bigger than just shark movies, or even just horror adjacent movies.
Yeah. But the reason I bring up shark movies is because when I got done with Jaws, I was like, man, what a great movie. It works on all levels. And then I immediately thought, like, that's why they keep making shark movies.
Yeah.
I never really thought, like, why there's so many shark, like, in my head.
Or why there's, like, Shark Week.
Yeah. Like, this whole thing with sharks, like, in my head, I understood it on a base level. Sharks are awesome, and sharks are scary. Mm-hmm. And that's why you make Shark Week. That's why you make shark movies. What I failed to realize was it's because of Jaws and how good Jaws is and, like, what Jaws did to society when that movie came out and what it created in the minds of American society about who and what sharks are and what they're capable of.
Yeah.
That's the reason why all of this, it all blossomed from Jaws. Mm-hmm. And that's fucking fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Because, again, sharks on a base level are awesome and scary. So it works. But when you have what Steven Spielberg did to what sharks and great whites in particular. That shit is just it's fucking amazing.
Well, it's interesting too because you're right. Sharks have always been around.
Yeah.
And people have always found them scary and awesome. And Jaws itself was a book before it was a movie. I just find it really interesting that Spielberg did the same thing for dinosaurs with Jurassic Park.
Right.
You know, like dinosaurs have been around forever. People found them cool and interesting forever.
Well, I mean, 6,000 years. That's not that
sure,
long.
yeah. Obviously.
Forever's a long time.
Yeah. Carbon dating is a fraud. Fossils, I don't think so. Anyway.
Yeah.
I just find it really interesting that he did that in two separate series for two different animals that people have kind of found interesting forever anyway, and made like two separate but like equally impactful blockbusters for their own times.
Yeah.
Like Jurassic Park was our Jaws, I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. Yes.
It's a thrill ride from top to bottom.
Yeah.
It's exciting, it's scary, and it starts a movement of now we're making Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah.
Or now we're making Jawses. Like Star Wars did for sci-fi.
Yeah. So, I mean, side note, if you're one of these people who's like, Spielberg just makes kids movies, just walk away.
Yeah.
Just walk away from the table.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun for a
Just
second
have
in your life.
But yeah, I mean, I had this idea that the movie was, you know, just shark attack after shark attack after shark attack, and that's what the movie's about. But it's like it's deeper than that.
Oh yeah, they let you wait. They let you hold on to each of those incidents or their own like beats in the movie.
Yeah,
that precede each other
and
to the crescendo of the ending.
And I know the idea of hiding the villain until like the best moment to reveal. I know that Jaws did that. I don't know if they're one of the first to do it, but I know that Jaws did it in like the best way where you know, it's already, again, just seeing a shark fin is already scary enough.
And then further on in the story, that's why they add those floaty canisters that they shoot into him, because that's another way to track where he is.
Yeah.
And then they use that as a device where you see them just pop up and you're like, great, now I'm not safe anymore.
Right.
And it removes that level of safety you feel when you can see the shark.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's ingenious, and it's one of the perfect examples of less is more out of necessity, because they wanted to show the shark more originally and they couldn't because the thing wouldn't work. So it became a necessity that they shoot around it, and it ended up being a better movie for it.
Right.
So I mean, it's a classic that you learn in any film class you take. That, you know, that's why the CG boom of like the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, you started to see it being used too much, and it become, let's make the scene around what we can play with in CG. And now all those movies look super dated.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a thing of necessity. It wasn't a thing of, you know, how can we make this look the best? It was, we have these new tools. Let's make the film around that.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's a perfect case study for how to make a blockbuster with limited resources and tools and working through that kind of adversity. I think there's books written on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's 10 out of 10. Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. I can go on forever. I'm sorry this is about your experience.
No. I mean, your love of the movie is admirable.
Yeah. Okay. Really quick. Favorite scene?
I have two favorites. Number one is like the super iconic zoom when he realizes what's going on. Because that scene, again, that was a scene that I saw a bunch in pop culture and never really understood the context. Now, having watched the movie and understanding, because there's all those scenes preceding it where, you know, he's told, hey, man, we're putting on this fucking holiday. People are going to be on the beach, and they're going to be swimming. And guess what? You're going to be fucking there, and you're going to be making sure that nothing happens. And it's like, what the fuck do you want me to do? It's a shark.
I'm sure glad politicians don't actually do that in real life.
Yeah. So that was with that added context, and then when that moment happens, when he realizes it, and then the technique that they do to do the zoom, all of that is just like, it's just like, it's so cool, man. So
push
cool.
and zoom out at the same time.
Yeah, I just fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
And then the scene where towards the end where they're trying to where they're I guess when he kills Jaws is awesome too. That's a really cool moment. And then when Quint dies,
Was
is
it
a good moment.
"Smile, you son of a bitch" or something like that?
Yeah.
What's the line?
Yeah, smile, you son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then just fucking shark just
Guts
just
everywhere.
shark chunks
And then you
everywhere.
see it just underwater.
I fucking love that.
There's no question in how dead that shark is.
Yeah, just dead as fuck.
Yeah.
And then it's Quint, right? Do you have the cast pulled up?
Yeah.
Yes, it's Quint.
Robert Shaw.
When Quint dies, that scene's crazy too. Because I'll be honest with you, again, not having remembered anything, I didn't know that he died.
Yeah. He seems like he wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
So when he goes, I was like, holy fuck, they killed him. And they killed him in such a... When did Jaws come out?
75.
75?
Yeah.
Dude, they kill him in such a violent way.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, because he slowly slips into his mouth. And then it there's a good few seconds of him just going, ah! Ah!
And you know the best part about that scene?
And
my mom was walking by, and I said this to her as she's walking by. She's watching me watch it, and she's like, "You really like this movie?" And I'm like, "This movie's awesome." No music, no theme, no score.
Yeah.
It's just his agonizing screams. The shark obviously doesn't make any noise. It doesn't really roar or anything. It's just like it's on the ship.
does in the later movies.
And it's just, it does?
I think so.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
and weird. I don't like that.
Yeah.
But he's just, his mouth is, he's just, and he's fucking sliding down the ship. No. He just right into the mouth and then crunch and then, and there's no score. You just have to sit with how violent and awful that scene is.
Yep.
And then he just takes him underwater
And
he's gone.
it's in broad daylight and
Broad daylight.
yeah, like really like shot very normally,
Yeah.
which makes it even worse.
And
It's like documentary footage.
right.
Yeah, it makes it very uncomfortable.
That's probably my Quint's death is probably not my favorite, but the best scene.
Yeah.
It's just so well done. Because at that point, the shark is revealed, and in all its like glory and ferocity, and it's 75, so it kind of looks a little hokey. But when you're in it, you don't think about that.
Right.
The only thing that ripped me out of it was my stupid fucking niece walked by, and she was like, that looks so fake. And I was like, get the fuck out.
Shut up.
Get out. And then when she said it, reality kind of set in. And I was like, it does kind of look a little hokey.
And that's the thing. I never thought the shark looked that bad. No,
he doesn't look that bad, but you're just spoiled by this the feast that your eyes have been able to
well, you're wrapped
take
in the story, so you're less focused on that doesn't look like real shark skin.
Right. If you're watching it with that critical of an eye, it's like, nah, you're really losing the path here.
You're not in it then. You're not really watching. You're not involved in the movie in the way you should be at that point. Okay. Since you cheated, I'll cheat too.
How did I cheat?
You
With
gave
the
me two.
multiple scenes.
Yes, you gave me two. First one is when Hooper is checking out the crashed boat.
Oh.
That jump scare.
So good.
It even though I know it when it's going to happen, it still kind of gets me to this day.
Yeah.
Like every time. I know it's going to happen, and I kind of tense up anyways.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, it freaked me out.
Yeah.
Like it became a slasher movie all of a sudden.
No, it's
And I was
super
like,
scary.
What?
It is. It's disturbing. It's grotesque.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look.
Just a pale head. Just. Yeah. So that's one.
That's a good one.
2 is Quint's entire story.
Ah, yeah.
What's the name of his ship? Was it Indianapolis or something? The one that delivered the bomb.
The one that he was on in the story.
Right.
Indianapolis.
Yeah. It's a real story. It's
Yeah.
a true story. So I'm sorry if I got it wrong. But yeah, that is top 3 scenes for me of all time.
Yeah.
I love that monologue. Anytime I see it even close to being, because I mean that entire scene's really good too.
Yeah.
Just them finally bonding together,
War
getting drunk and
stories.
just showing their scars and
Yeah.
stuff.
Very cool.
Fantastic. Like you can't write characters better than that. Like
Yeah.
that's just quintessential perfect. But specifically his monologue when, again, something I find like I really like in storytelling is when you go from a scene where everyone's smiling to immediately you as the audience and the people in the movie, the smile just starts to turn and it suddenly becomes serious. And it's the same feeling you get when that happens in real life.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I didn't know that was happening.
Right.
Like it makes you a little uncomfortable. But I love that turn of him telling that story, and then you realize why he has such a thing out for sharks and why he became a shark hunter and all this stuff, and which makes his ultimate demise that much more tragic too, and maybe fitting, like I don't know.
It is the fact that the characters are so well written and the film within the film is so compelling really bolsters how good the movie is. Because that was the other thing. I always walked away from thinking about Jaws as just, I mean, it's a big, dumb summer blockbuster movie. So it's just, like I said, shark attack after shark attack. And that's why it's so good, because in 1975, they hadn't done something like that yet.
Right.
What I didn't realize was, like, how good the film within the film is, how good the acting is, like how compelling the characters are, how, just how well done the movie is that is around the horror of this shark attack.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, obviously we've spoiled a lot of the movie. But again, it's not really a movie you can spoil, I feel.
I don't think so.
It's like, I mean, we talked about this before, but it's one of those things that, like, are just omnipresent in pop culture, like the Beatles.
Yeah.
Like, even if you haven't listened to the Beatles, you know the Beatles.
Yeah.
You have an idea of what they are. You may not have heard Revolver or something, but you know the Beatles. You know Jaws. But even though you know Jaws, watch Jaws.
Watch it.
It's worth your time.
Definitely. And also, these other fucking shark movies are not worth your time. That's the other realization that that is the ultimate realization that I came to.
Don't disparage the name of Deep Blue Sea like that.
Listen, they're all fun. Some of them are really, really dumb. Some of them are, pointless, terribly made movies. Ultimately, all of them do not stack up to how good Jaws is.
No.
And that's really what I came to, was like, can you imagine making the penultimate movie and then for the next 40 years studios are like, how do we do Jaws again, but like now the sharks are super smart, or
right. Right.
And it's like, you can't because that movie's too good.
You can try.
You can certainly try.
It'll make money, but
and I guess that's what they wanted in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it worked, but it's not as good, and it's not
quality
as
wise. You'll never
timeless as Jaws.
Jaws is at it's again. I feel like I'm just saying like, yeah, duh, Marco, but it's just a Mount Olympus movie.
Yeah,
that like you can't repeat that. You just can't.
No.
I mean, even they couldn't.
No.
So it's like
no.
Yeah. So that was the minute I was done with it. I was like, why did I understand, and also I'm confused as to why they made so many shark movies. Because they had to, but also you can't.
What?
How do you watch Jaws and walk away going, I could do that?
Easy.
The hubris of these movie studios thinking that they could repeat the magic.
Hooray for Hollywood.
All right. I just needed to get that off my chest because it's just been sitting on me for so long.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to watch it again.
It's one of those you can go back to over and over. It's a movie I will buy on every format.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those movies.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
So there's your super obvious outdated movie review. There you go. That's film school for you.
I'm not going to go into a full review on this because we haven't seen it together, but I watched *Malignant*.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
You're laughing. I don't. Is that a good, bad sign? Bad, good?
So bad.
Oh no.
But bad. It is. I'm happy to say a rare movie, a rare bigger budget movie. That is so bad that it's good. I would recommend it.
Okay.
But no, that's what you're getting into.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be a perfect movie to not realize is an unintentional comedy, go into a packed movie theater to see, and have that experience with the audience as you turn on it.
Yeah.
Like, that is probably the best way to experience that movie.
As you turn on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got tipped off by Red Letter Media,
the
YouTube channel that reviews movies. And I started their overview of the movie, and they started to hint at that. And I said, okay, let me pause this because I know it's on HBO Max, which we've talked about before, but it actually worked this time.
Okay.
Maybe they heard us. I don't want to take complete, credit,
but
I was going to say blame, but credit.
Blame. Yeah.
I'm used to being blamed.
Yeah. Well, we've taken some blame.
I'm not used to take. I don't mean to take full credit.
I'd like to take some credit.
Maybe we can take a little bit of credit for that. But it did work, and I watched it, and did not disappoint in the so bad it's good department.
That's exciting and also disappointing.
Yeah,
because I saw the trailer for it and I was like, that doesn't look that bad.
It looks really good.
Yeah,
it looks very. It trailers very well.
Yeah, yeah.
And it shot very nicely. Like it's surprisingly well shot and composed, and it looks like it has a sheen to it. It looks like a new ass horror movie.
Yeah,
but it plays out like an old ass bad ass horror movie.
Somebody said that somebody on Twitter, they were like, I wish movie studios would go back to just filming a completely different scene for exclusively for the trailer of movies, as opposed to like now just showing a highlight reel of the movie.
They say that Marvel does that though, and there's been speculation that's what they did for the No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Yeah. Trailer.
Huh. That would be kind of disappointing if some of those scenes aren't. Well, then again, as long as those story elements are still in it, I'm fine.
Yeah. I mean, especially if it's just a teaser, it's just kind of a flavor maker, you know?
Yeah. Flavor saver.
Oof. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Speaking of HBO Max, I don't know if you saw this. You might not have seen it because your HBO subscription is through. You just got HBO, right?
No, it's through my brother.
Okay, no, but his subscription is just HBO.
Yeah, he gets it through his cable, and then they give him Max.
So there you go.
Yeah,
I bought HBO through Amazon Prime.
Oh,
because it was offered a long time ago. They had a deal on it,
like a bundle.
Yeah, so you get that. I got that, and then that's how I've been able to. And then once you have it on that, you just you sign up for all the other things and tell them that your provider is Amazon,
right?
And it pulls it up through that way, right?
Okay.
As of today, September 15th,
yeah,
HBO is no longer on Amazon Prime.
Uh-oh.
And they just didn't tell anybody. It's just gone now.
Whoops.
Yeah. I found this out today. I got an email that said, per our last discussion. And I was like, what last discussion? per or less. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Oh, we've been talking. Per hour last discussion.
Not hour.
Hour.
Your HBO subscription has been canceled. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't cancel it. Thought it was a mistake. Thought somebody, because I've had my shit hacked into multiple times. So
we all have.
Maybe somebody hacked my thing.
Right.
And for some reason, they're trolling me and they canceled my HBO. I'd be like, that's such a shitty thing to do to somebody.
It's really passive aggressive.
So I go into the account and it's just canceled. And I'm like, I didn't do this. So I Googled it, and Warner Media wants people to subscribe more to HBO Max. So they pulled their service from Amazon Prime.
Right.
They're basically going to pull it from anywhere else that isn't directly HBO.
Yeah.
So they're driving people towards their dog shit app.
Yeah. To subscribe specifically to HBO.
And it just makes me so angry because I liked the convenience of being on. I use Prime a lot more than I realized.
Yeah.
Because Prime, not only does Amazon Prime have like weirdly streaming, like Jaws, for instance. It has weirdly streaming movies where sometimes I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. And it's on there.
Yeah.
Not only that, but then it has all of the different rows of, if you have Stars, you can sign up through there. If you have Showtime, you can sign up through there. And then it's just curated for you in this whole big chunk. So that's how I watched a lot of HBO stuff, was through that. Even though I have HBO Max on my PlayStation, I used Amazon to watch the shit on there.
All in one place.
And it's just, it's just like convenience that they're taking from you.
Why hop around like multiple streaming apps if you could have it all in one place?
Exactly. I hate it. I hate having to go from this thing to this thing to this thing. I end up not using any of them.
Yeah. Well, that's one benefit that I find watching stuff through my TV, because it actually does have that feature. It's a Sony TV, but I wasn't saying that the flex.
I mean, it sounded like a flex.
But I'm just saying, if you also have a Sony TV, I'm sure other TVs are doing this too. They make it a thing now where like you see your most recently streamed content regardless of the platform. So you can hop right back into whatever you were on from one place, just from your home screen.
Yeah.
Without having to go, all right, let me turn on my TV, let me go to my streaming apps, let me go to Netflix, and then get into my profile, and then find the show I was watching.
Yeah.
Instead, it's TV on, click into the show.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And then it just takes you straight to the show.
Yep.
By
It
going
automatically
through to the apps.
It shortcuts you through all of that and gets you directly into the content you're looking for.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
That's convenience, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we should be watching TV at this point.
Yeah.
Like at this, how are we still? I mean, I'm on a PlayStation 4, so I'm still. You have to hit the I know. You have to hit the PS button, and it takes you all the way back to the home screen.
Yeah.
Not the TV video portion of the PlayStation.
Right.
All the way back.
Yeah.
To the home screen. Then you got to go back in and find the app that you're looking for again. So every time that you want to back out, you got to back out all the way. It's like going through someone's house looking for something, and then when you're like, maybe it's in the kitchen, you got to go all the way out of the house back to the driveway.
It's a shotgun house. You have to.
You just have to go
all the way back
and then
try
go all
again.
the way again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's so annoying. I mean, I've gotten used to it, obviously. But it's the worst. It's the worst. And I know that this is a first world problem, but I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'm not going to apologize.
Yeah. We are some first world boys.
Exactly.
What do you want?
Exactly.
Sorry.
So, if you have Amazon, if you have your HBO through Amazon Prime and it got canceled unbeknownst to you, that's why. So you got to go and get HBO Max independent. I hope, because now I got to fucking pay for that now.
Yeah.
It's just so inconvenient.
Well, you weren't already paying for it?
I was paying for it. Well, I don't know how much the base price for Max is. But the thing is, I was paying for HBO on
Amazon.
So now as long as everything that's on HBO proper is on Max, then I'm fine. If it's not, then I've lost content.
There was a weird few months there where there was a difference between HBO, the channel,
Mm-hmm.
HBO Max, which they just brought out at that time, and HBO Go.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that there was like...
So if this is just a hangover from HBO Go, you may be in trouble.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was paying for HBO proper on Amazon.
Right.
So I don't think... I mean, I've looked at all... not all of it, but I've looked at a lot of the stuff that's on HBO Max, and it looks like they have all of the shows you want, like all the old shows and stuff. And
Yeah.
the problem is, though, they do this rotating thing of like the newer content and then some of the older content where they're like, it's only going to be here for X amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, you know what? What the fuck? What am I paying for?
Yeah. Well, the brand new content goes away after the first month,
Yeah.
I think. But then I found out does sometimes come back.
Yeah. I saw something on there that wasn't on there that I missed. That movie with Rami Malek and Denzel Washington, something about See You Tomorrow or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was done forever, and then now it's just on there.
Yeah,
So that's
so
cool.
They're starting to bring those back now.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's the case for all of the WB stuff.
Yeah.
You can see
The Suicide Squad.
the Squad.
I always want to square Martin.
I was gonna say, I don't know if that's okay for you to say.
I don't think so.
Probably
not in that way.
No.
Sorry.
Not like
I
that.
always want to square Martin.
Not like this.
Not like this.
No, I was gonna say Kong and Godzilla.
I think that's on there.
Is it back?
I think it's back already.
No.
No? Am I looking at...
Skull Island?
Okay,
is on there.
that's probably what I was looking at.
I saw it recently and it looked similar, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, they brought it back," but no, it's just Skull Island.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, at this point, I just have to wait on all those.
it's fine.
So,
It's okay.
is it?
It's fine by me. I don't know about you.
Well, you know,
I'm fine with you waiting on movies.
I don't have to... There's no water cooler discussion I have to have other than this.
Here,
So if I miss a movie, it's like I'm just out of the zeitgeist for a little bit.
beer cooler discussion.
Yeah. And honestly, the zeitgeist moves so quickly that if I'm not joining the conversation immediately, you're going to miss the conversation anyway.
Right, and that's the tough part about doing the show, folks, is that we like to jump on brand new movies, but that's hard to do.
Very hard.
When by the time that the show comes out, the movie's been out for a week.
Right.
So
Like Shang-Chi, for instance.
perfect example. Yeah.
I'd like to go see it. And at this point, what could be said about the movie that hasn't already been said?
We could maybe tie it into our predictions of the future of
Yeah.
was it 4?
Phase 4?
Phase 4? Are
Yeah.
we in phase 4 now? Fully? Yeah.
Yeah.
We could make it a conversation about that maybe.
Apparently, he's supposed to be pretty important.
I've only heard good things about Shang-Chi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be
People
really good.
really like it.
Yeah.
People really like it as a movie.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good with... Here's the thing, man. And you know, I don't know why more mainstream, like, A+ studios don't do more martial arts movies, because everyone loves them. They're awesome.
Yeah, they're great.
And you get a good fight choreographer and a compelling, convincing actor to do it,
Yeah.
and you just can't go wrong. I don't know why more studios don't just go, let's make another fucking action movie where a guy, like Extraction, for instance. Pick a big, strong white man, put him in a foreign country, let him obliterate half the country. And it's a good hour and a half to 2 hours. It's a thrill ride.
Yeah.
That movie doesn't stop. It's awesome, and it's so fun to watch.
Yeah. You can't breathe by the end of it.
John Wick is another one.
Exactly.
Why were people surprised at how successful that movie was? It's awesome. Of course it was going to work. It works on all levels.
Well, and Marvel started to get on that train with like Winter Soldier.
Yes.
You know, like that's when I feel like they started really taking choreography seriously.
yeah, it wasn't just bashing, beating people up, and throwing them across stuff. And,
like Xena, you know, it's just no disrespect, Xena, but Yeah, I feel
First
like
time I saw two chicks kiss.
on Xena.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, let's do it.
Formative. Formative.
Very young. And
Yeah.
I was like, that's doing something for me. At like 6 years old. It's so fucked up.
You're not Hercules.
Oh, I have trauma that needs to be worked out.
Was that on TBS? What channel was that on? Or TNT?
Or UPN?
UPN? Was it one of... Yeah. Maybe those were reruns. I don't think anything
When it was
debuted on
ma-
UPN.
Yeah, right. Nothing debuted on UPN. They got everyone's scraps.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was TNT. Maybe it was a TNT show.
It was one of those. One of those. What a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everything looked hazy
Uh-huh.
because it was all on CRTs and like off of VHS tapes,
Right.
beta tapes. They were just, I was going to say streaming, but not even playing off of.
People weren't even imagining that
Ugh,
at
guy.
that point.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
So, yeah. Winter Soldier was the start of them like actually having good fight choreography. This is how you know a choreographer is taking it seriously, is when the camera's panned back. You can
Yeah.
see the action. Anytime that it's too close and it's just fists and kicks flying.
In hindsight, it's really a stain on Nolan's Batman series.
Well, so I'm glad you brought that up, because the first one is terribly choreographed.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, I remember this moment. When I was in the theater, I remember thinking, wow, they pulled the camera back and we get to see what he's doing in the very beginning when that's not him. And then he fucking pulls up and fucking destroys the thing. And then he starts fighting all of the Italian dude's goons.
Huggy pads.
Yeah. That scene, that opening
Russian.
scene.
He's Russian.
Is he?
Not-
He's Russian.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Falcone's obviously Italian.
Dogs are hungry.
My dogs are hungry. That scene in particular, when he bends the muzzle of the gun and he's doing all that stuff, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they pulled it back. We can kind of see what he's doing. So, and then they kind of revert back in the third one where I'm like, it was so good in the second one.
Yes. And I mean, even within the second one, there are moments where it's panned in way too close.
Yeah.
And it's just flashes of like elbows.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the choreography was very slow. I feel like if you were to take it back, it would be very like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Be too
1,
revealing
2.
It's yeah.
And it's like, okay, like you can work in styles that make sense for Batman.
Your thing's about to fucking freak out. There you go.
I'm recording everything on my Apple Watch. But yeah, no, I feel like there's a way that, because there may have been limitations with like the costume and with Christian Bale maybe not having the training he needed to pull off the choreography.
Yeah.
I mean, he's clearly a dedicated actor, though. You give him enough time, I'm sure he'd be able to pull it off.
Well, and at the same time, it's like, how much can a person recognize his fucking net? Well, actually, never mind. I take that back. He's got a very distinct mouth, chin. Like it'd be
It's a weird thing to say about it, dude.
I know. Pause. It's just, I don't know. When I watch him, like I can tell, it looks like he has like 48 teeth in his mouth. He just looks like he has a lot of teeth.
Yeah.
So like I can tell it's him.
It's very defined chin, too. And that's all you get with the cowl.
Yeah.
That's true. But my point in saying that is, I think it was really, upon rewatch, I should say, it is a little disappointing to see those fight scenes and know that they could have been better after something like Winter Soldier, or the Daredevil show, for instance. You know,
time.
like these other things that may not even have had the budget or this grand scope that Nolan's films did, just did it so much better. And I feel like that would have just been the cherry on top of the sundae.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I will say he learned, because Tenet has some really good fight scenes that are like not hard to follow. In fact, I think that he understood these would need to be filmed or need to be seen in a certain way to be able to follow them because of what we're doing with the.
And I may be mistaken here, but I think that Tenet also worked with Terran Tactical, the same people that did John Wick.
Yeah.
At least with the gun
Fu.
Yeah. So that may have something to do with it too.
Yeah. By the way, Tenet's awesome.
I gotta rewatch it. I haven't rewatched it since the time that we saw it for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
I've watched it 3 times since.
Nice. It's like 10 hours.
I know. I've dedicated a lot of time to that movie. It's good, man. It's good. I understand people's beef with it, and all of those points still stand. It's confusing. The sound design is all over the place.
What do you expect at this point, though? You know?
Yeah.
Like, you got to go into a Nolan movie. I mean, I'm curious to see if we can hear anything of what Oppenheimer has to say in his new movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wondering how he can fit a mask on the guy.
Right.
Just somehow. He'll find a way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it sucks, but that's what he does.
Right.
That's
It
what
is what
that's
it
what he
is.
does.
What are you gonna do?
It's his Achilles heel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a detriment to the movie for sure. It is. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to follow because it's like there's all this information that you need to take in and you need to understand, and then you can't hear half of it.
Well,
it's like, what are you doing?
Tenet is his Hideo Kojima movie, so
Yeah.
it's like it is all dialogue cutscene.
Yeah.
Like half the movie's just that.
Yeah.
And then you have a fight scene or an action set piece.
Yeah.
But it's mostly here's everything you need to know. Pay attention.
Yeah. It really is. Like the movie doesn't stop, and that's what I like about it. I
Yeah.
like movies that are just like, this is it. It's go time, baby.
Yeah.
Like you better fucking buckle up and pay attention,
Right.
Because this train's not moving, and that's what Tenet does. That's what Inception does, where it's like once the movie gets going, it's like this is it. This is the fucking movie. Are you paying attention? Like
Yeah.
you look away for a second, it's like, oh, you missed it.
The
You
train
gotta
has
start it
left
over.
the station.
Definitely. And that's what I like about it. Like halfway through it, you're just like, oh man, they haven't taken a breather in this yet. This is just moving. Even when they're like setting up the oncoming set piece, even those moments are like, it's still going. It's going.
Yeah.
We're getting information. You're always getting information. Always. And that could be exhausting.
Yeah. Especially when you're going, huh?
Right.
What?
So I get how some people would be like, look, it's too much. It's too much. But I don't know. Call me a fucking Nolan fanboy. I just like his movies, man. I'm not going to apologize for liking his movies.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
They are. I won't disagree with you there.
Sorry,
I
that was a
will.
weird detour for Tenet.
I will have to rewatch Tenet before I'm willing to say that it's awesome.
I'll be here.
Okay. You got 3 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Got all the time in the world. All right. That was. I mean, that's our movie. That's our movie.
That's movies.
That's our new bit. That's
movies. Speaking of Hideo Kojima, though, there were no new Hideo Kojima games announced for the PlayStation Showcase 2021, but there was a major PlayStation Showcase that happened in between last episode and this episode.
Good segue, man.
Thank you. So, did you watch it?
No, but I looked at a bunch of the announcements and stuff. I didn't actually like sit through the.
You haven't seen any of the trailers?
I've watched some of them.
Okay.
Not all of them, but I've seen the ones that I've seen like God of War and Spider-Man and Wolverine.
You're ruining the segment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's now nobody has any reason to listen.
Do you want me to blank those out?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Why is Kid A in the list?
Okay, so one of the weirder announcements of this entire thing was that apparently Radiohead and Epic Games are teaming up together to make like a video game interactive experience around Kid A and Amnesiac.
Yeah.
Because Radiohead is re-releasing and
Bundling them
together and also releasing a bunch of previously unheard content from those two albums.
I don't know about all that.
Are you not a Kid A head?
No.
You're not a Kid A guy?
No, I'm
No.
not. I I tried.
What-
I tried multiple times.
What is your genre of Radiohead?
I mean, they're. I just
If
like,
at all, I'm presuming here.
No, I like Radiohead. I like high energy, getting freaky Radiohead. So like the best of OK Computer. I really like In Rainbows. I think I like In Rainbows more than a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And I like King of Limbs. I like King of Limbs. It's a fun album. It's a fun thing. The Bends, obviously, it's classic.
Sure.
So, but that's like, to me, the Bends is like, here's us doing the best of early 90s, alt rock kind of stuff.
Yeah.
With our twist on it.
Yeah, I feel like that was the Benz was a good middle ground between Pablo Honey and where they took their sound with OK Computer.
Kid, I mean, I get it. It's boring. Like, it's just boring.
Okay.
I just
Have you even listened to Amnesiac then? Because
no, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't.
Okay. Give it a listen.
Because after Kid A, I was like, if this is just kind of like a companion piece, I'm not gonna waste my time with it.
Which it kind of is, but whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
OK Computer is their best album. In Rainbows, close second. I can't choose a third. It's like choosing a favorite baby. Anyway, they're re-releasing those albums and some unreleased material too. And in order to accompany that, they're making, I guess, this interactive experience that goes along with those albums with Epic Games.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's about, but could be something kind of interesting.
Yeah. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
If it's like a VR experience, that would be cool.
Yeah. Let's see. According to CBR.com, Epic Games Plus developers Name the Machine and Arbitrarily Good Productions are coming together to create a project centered around rock band Radiohead. At the moment, it's being described as an upside-down digital/analog universe that's meant to celebrate the anniversaries of Radiohead's Kid A in 2000 and Amnesiac in 2001 albums, which saw the band enter more experimental and electronic-based territory.
Ugh.
So
what does that even mean?
It sounds just like it's a promotional vehicle.
Let's move on. Fuck you.
Whatever.
Not fuck you to radio. Well, fuck you to Radiohead too, because it just sounds super fucking. Okay, I'm getting a little aggro. Okay,
A little bit.
sorry.
Did you open up a can of whoop ass?
I just didn't like the description of whatever the fuck that is.
Well, blame
it was
CBR.com.
really confusing.
Okay,
and it just made me angry.
Blame
CBR. What, comic book?
Yeah. Blame Sage Ashford in particular.
Fuck you, Sage.
Oh, don't do
you're
that.
right. I'm sorry.
We're using their content, sir.
Sorry. You're right. We are. And I apologize.
I will quickly run through some of the bigger announcements that at least piqued my interest. So they're remastering Alan Wake for everyone who didn't play it, which is most people. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
Play Alan Wake. It's a great game. It's coming to PlayStation for the first time, which I didn't realize. I guess it was a Xbox and PC exclusive.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah. So,
I only watched friends play it, so I never got to actually like.
It's super weird. You will appreciate it a lot more after watching Twin Peaks. Yeah, it's essentially a Twin Peaks game.
Okay,
it's really good. I don't care about Tiny Tina's Wonderland because I've fallen off of Borderlands.
Yeah.
Just the humor's not really hitting with me anymore. It's just a little too tongue in cheek, a little too cutesy.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, and
I think I've maybe grown out of it a little bit. I mean, it was fun. It was fun for a time, but this seems like it's a step away from what I liked about Borderlands in the first place, which was just kind of that sci-fi aesthetic.
It's a weird thing to do a spin-off at this point, too.
Yeah.
You know? Like, they definitely could have done this a couple years ago and would have been way more relevant.
Sure, and this feels like it's it's not a full step forward It's just a diversion until they can do Borderlands 4.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it's Borderlands with like a fantasy aesthetic to it.
Yeah.
Ghostwire Tokyo actually looked cooler than it did before.
Yeah.
Which is made by Tango Softworks, which are the people who made what was the name of that horror game? Evil Within.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so that was a fun game back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a first-person horror-ish game that looks pretty cool. I don't know. Looks all right. Project Eve is just Bayonetta with jiggle physics and stuff. Not really into that. A Korean game though, which is kind of interesting. You don't see very many Korean games. It's jiggle physics and angles. Lots of suggestive angles.
I don't like that.
No, it's just it's boring.
I just don't like games like that.
Well, and the thing is, like, they showed it off, and amidst like modern Western games, it just comes off as feeling really old.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like I'm against an Eastern perspective or design ideas. I love like Persona 5, but it just feels old. It feels outdated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not. It does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Project Eve. I'm sorry. Maybe it's going to be a cool game, like gameplay wise, but
We'll never find out.
yeah. They're bringing Uncharted to PC, which was an announcement, and PS5, I guess.
That's probably just gonna look so good.
Yeah,
It
already looks incredible on PS4.
Oh, that makes me so jealous.
Yeah, and they're bundling it all of Drake's games and also the Lost Legacy. They're bundling in there too, which you haven't played yet, have you?
No.
You take that home tonight.
Okay.
Gran Turismo 7 has finally gotten a release date.
That one does nothing for me.
I know, but us gearheads.
I appreciate how good those games are, but man, I just get so bored with racing games.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially Gran Turismo is notoriously hard to get into if you're not a car guy.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid trying to play Gran Turismo 2 and just being like, why do I keep crashing?
Oh, yeah.
I can't figure it out because I was used to like playing Ridge Racer and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I realized you gotta finesse it a little bit. There's some finesse in there. And then I got really into cars, and then suddenly Gran Turismo for PS2 came out, and that's when I fell in love. But basically since around then and a little bit after, I've fallen off of Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something right now that may upset you guys, but Forza has become a better game. Ooh. And yes, some of it is because it is more of an arcadey game, but that kind of makes it more fun.
I wonder how Juan feels about this. Have you talked to him about this?
No, he's hurting. He's hurting right now. Sorry, Juan, it's the truth.
But
I'm really excited for Gran Turismo 7. Finally, a new numbered game in the series, which has me excited. I'm definitely gonna invest in this one.
Yeah.
We have Forspoken, which is a brand new game that I hadn't even heard of. It looks pretty cool. It's essentially like what seems to be a like teenage girl gets transported into this fantasy world from our own reality, and has to learn how to use these magical powers to fight monsters and stuff.
Yeah. Story looks weird.
Yeah.
But gameplay looks cool.
Yes. Gameplay looks very cool, and I'm excited to see where they take the story with that.
Yeah.
And graphics look really good too. Then of course we have Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Get
Finally
to the
announced.
heavy hitters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which teased Venom.
Yeah.
Venom. Which should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. That just looks awesome. I wonder if I don't know if they've announced all of the gameplay elements. It'd be really cool if you could do couch co-op or online co-op.
With Miles and Peter.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already shown that both of those characters are in the game.
Yeah.
So I'd be surprised if there wasn't at least a co-op mode that you could jump into, even if it was just like a horde mode or something that you can fight enemies together.
Yeah.
So
they're like waves.
Yeah. We'll see, though. We'll see. I mean, it looks incredible. I have nothing but full faith that Insomniac can pull it off because I've only loved what they've done with Spider-Man.
Love what you've done with the place.
God of War Ragnarok.
Yes.
Can't freaking wait.
Yes.
Excuse me. Boy.
Somebody replaced because they were doing the reveals of all the characters and they were doing the cast, the voice acting cast, and it said Artreus, and then somebody replaced it with just boy. That's so funny.
Yeah, it looks incredible. Apparently this is going to cap off from what I heard, it's supposed to cap off the story with the
the Norse mythology, right? They're supposed to be
I think within that sect of the gods that they're talking about right now.
Yeah.
As Ragnarok should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ragnarok is the end.
Yeah. So
the apocalypse or whatever.
Not only am I excited for this game, but I'm excited for what comes after.
Yeah.
Because it's, thinking about where they can take God of War after this, it gets me really excited.
Yeah.
But let me not get ahead of myself. What they've shown for this, the variety and how much more Atreus can do, has me really excited.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Boy. And also how much bigger the game looks.
Mm-hmm.
Not just bigger, but more full of life.
The variety. There's almost like a tropical looking area.
Yeah. Because the one thing about God of War and the one thing about a lot of sandboxy exploration games is sometimes you're dropped into a world and it's lifeless. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. But after you're in it, because these games, you don't realize you spend so much time living in this world.
Yeah.
And the more that you realize the only living things are you and your enemies and then whatever NPC you're supposed to talk to.
Right.
After that, it's it's kind of dead. It's kind of lifeless.
And that's sometimes used for effect, like in Demon Souls. That makes the world feel more hostile.
Right.
Because it's there's no peace here. Anytime I'm out in the world, there's a central hub that's friendly. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, it's everything is out to get you.
Yeah.
There's no safety.
Right.
But yeah, there are times where it's if you're playing in an open world game that's not really fully developed or full of life in the way that a Grand Theft Auto is.
Even GTA for in some instances, there's times where it just feels not dead, but they're you see the limitations of the game.
Sure.
The game is so big, and then sometimes you can't walk into certain buildings and you're just you have to go into it the way that they want you to go into it. And you're
but that's you being spoiled.
Yeah.
Because I vividly remember. I remember when GTA 3 came out. I remember when GTA 3 came out. Mm-hmm. It blew everyone's minds because it was a third-person game.
Yep.
That had pedestrians and had traffic
mm-hmm.
and a radio station and all this stuff was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
How could they possibly program all that into this game? And then things kept progressing, and then by the time we get to San Andreas, there's so many elements to this game that make it so complex.
Yeah.
We get to 4 even more so. And then 5, and it's okay, we can actually walk into a lot of buildings. Mm-hmm. We can stick them up. We can watch traffic in the city versus traffic in the countryside, and everything is different, and there's clearly this world working within itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's not enough for you?
No.
I know.
Grand Theft Auto came out like 8 years ago.
I know.
By the way, they're still talking about. I mean, that's a huge problem that people are having with GTA. It's like, oh, okay. So no announcement about GTA 6, and you're just going to keep giving people DLC for this game. And not even the DLC that people want.
No, it's not actual DLC. It's
You know what?
online.
I want to table this.
Okay.
Because I want to bring Juan in for this conversation.
Okay.
Because
Fair enough.
he's a
GTA head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say zealot, but yeah,
Yeah, okay.
GTA head.
Yeah.
And I want to bring him in, and I would love to hear his defense of the fact that we're still playing an 8-year-old game.
Yeah.
He's going to have a very impassioned response.
I'm sure he will.
I can't wait. But yeah. No, it's not enough for me.
I agree.
Because,
But I remember when it was.
yeah, it was in 2002. It was.
It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. Anyway. We also got a surprise reveal of a Wolverine game, which is going to be made by Insomniac Games as well, which is crazy. Especially if they go full M-rated, super mature Last of Us, but with a mutant.
Yeah.
Would be awesome.
Just stabbing people in the throat.
Yeah.
Ripping their fucking shit out.
Super excited for that.
Can't wait.
And then we got a reveal of an exclusive for PlayStation, which is a Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake.
Exclusive for PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, irritating that is.
I don't
Getting an
actually.
Yeah, talk about it.
I'm so sorry.
No, have fun.
I
Tell
don't-
everybody how excited you are.
I don't know what came over.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I don't know what came over me.
We're super excited about this game.
Sorry. Well, look, it's not coming out for a while. Don't worry. I played a little bit of the original KOTOR, okay, and I had a lot of fun, but I was a little stupid baby and didn't really get it and didn't play it to completion. So I'm excited about this remake, and I will definitely be there day one, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm sure you will be.
Yeah. And I'm sure you'll be able to by the time it comes out as well. Okay?
Hopefully,
I think so.
man.
I think so.
They're working on a PlayStation Pro, and they still can't. There's still people out here who I just want the cheap version. Just make it out of plastic. I don't care. I just want a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Okay? Give me what I want.
It'll happen. Don't worry. It'll happen. You'll have your time.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it. That's all that was announced.
All right.
So my top game that I'm excited for is probably God of War.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be, right?
Yeah, it's a known quantity, but what's known about it is they make awesome games.
What's number 2? Because God of War, I think, is the obvious. It's just so exciting, and God of War is such a good game that, like, Ragnarok, and the way that they tease Ragnarok in the original game, and then now we're finally getting it coming to fruition.
It's the perfect tease.
Oh, it's so good. It's just so good. So that I think that was pretty obvious.
I mean, number 2 suitably is Spider-Man 2. Number 3 is, I mean, just for the fact that we don't know enough about Wolverine, it would be Wolverine just based off of the promise of what that could be. But we don't know enough about it, so I'd say KOTOR.
My number 2 is KOTOR.
Yeah.
Just because I'm just such a Star Wars head, and I want to be able to play that so badly.
Yeah.
That I really, really hope I have a PlayStation 5 by
sure
the
you
time
will.
that game comes out.
That's not coming out anytime soon. You have time.
Yeah. And then Wolverine, because, Wolverine's awesome. And the promise of what that could be being made by Insomniac.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Mechanically, it's going to feel really good.
It has to. They're just so good at it.
Yeah.
That even if the story sucks and the voice acting sucks, it's like, this game, it plays so well, though. It's just so fun to play.
Which I have trust that it won't, because they've only made quality for this generation.
Absolutely. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. That's fun. If you guys watch the PlayStation Direct, or if you just have choices, stuff that you're excited about, let us know. We'd love to discuss.
Yep.
Maybe it's something that maybe we're wrong about Project Eve. Right?
If you like Project Eve, let us know why.
Yeah.
Just don't say boobies.
Jiggle physics.
Just jiggle. Hashtag jiggle physics.
All right. I think we got it.
Yeah. Well, we have to cheers it. I think we have the same cheers for today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yet again.
Yeah.
I hate to end on another downer, but unfortunately, Norm Macdonald passed away.
Yes.
I mean,
Rest in peace.
iconic SNL alum, stand-up comedian, and just one of the top late night show guests of all time.
Absolutely.
Go watch his little features that he had on any late night show, and
Conan especially, though.
Yeah. Just hilarious. Just hilarious.
He's just so good.
Yeah.
He did. There's two things that he did on Conan that, I mean, still to this day, I watch and I'm like, God, man, it's so funny. Number one, he was on in like the mid '90s, and this lady was on. I forgot her name. She's an actress in this movie with Carrot Top. You saw this clip?
Yeah.
I used to watch this clip all the time.
Yeah.
Just because it was so fun to watch a dude just tear apart a movie that she's on there. So, okay.
What was the name of the movie?
Chairman of the Board.
Chairman of the Board. That's right.
And the girl is on there, and I'm sorry I'm forgetting the actress's name.
I'll look her up.
Okay. She's the co-star. Carrot Top is the star of the movie. And she's in there promoting the film. And what's her name? Courtney Thorne Smith. She was on Conan in the early 90s, mid 90s, promoting this film, and Norm was on there, and Norm is just obliterating this movie. And the entire concept of promoting a film, ripping apart Carrot Top. I mean, it's just he's relentless.
Yeah.
He's relentless, and it's the best because you're like, he's fucking tearing into this movie, man. It's awesome.
He does, but it's in a way that doesn't make you feel like he's a jerk.
No, he has and everyone has said this, like, he's the master of delivery. His delivery of these jokes is just, it's bar none. And the way that he's delivering it on Conan is like, he's saying these jokes in a way that he's like a lost puppy, where he's just kind of like confused by the notion of a movie starring Carrot Top called, like, he's very aloof. Can't wrap his head around he's just like, and he's like making these jokes that are like very obvious one-liners, but they're the unspoken things that Conan and Andy want to say about the movie, but they can't because they have to sell the movie with the actress. And she knows what he's saying is the truth.
Yeah.
And she can't say it because she's got to sell the movie.
Right. And she's laughing along with him.
Because she can't help it. Because what he's saying is hilarious and true.
Yeah.
And then the other thing he did was when Conan was leaving The Tonight Show, and Norm comes on with a basket congratulating him for getting The Tonight Show. Mm-hmm. And he reads the card congratulating him and saying, like, no one can ever take this away from you. You're the new king of late night and all this stuff. This is like the second to last episode where he's losing the show. Those two appearances in particular, I go back and watch a lot when I go down these Conan rabbit holes. Yeah. Because it's always like Bill Hader, Bill Burr, Norm Macdonald. Yeah. So, I mean, he's the master of the one-liner.
Did you see the story that Segura shared?
No, I didn't watch the whole thing. Oh. I started watching it, and I just clicked off it. And I had to do something else, and then I just never got back to it. But what was the...
He was telling a story that was told to him by another comedian friend. I forget his name, but that comedian also...
Sickler, right? Ryan Sickler?
I don't think it was.
Or was Sickler involved?
I don't think it was
Sigler's
Sigler.
tagged, so I
Yeah.
thought Sigler was involved.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but essentially it was that this comedian, or actually no, it was actually Norm was part of this like family friendly event, and there were kids there and like grandparents, and it was this very wholesome thing that he was invited to do a special, not a special, but like, you know, a 15 minutes or whatever at. And the comedian that was also there watching him do this said, Norm Macdonald came up and his first line was, yeah, so I was jacking off to a porno where a woman got fucked by a pig. That pig had to go back to fucking pigs. How'd that feel? Something to that effect.
Yeah.
And then, like, he said he literally saw, like, thousands of people just stand up and walk away at the same time. But he kept going. He did the entire thing, and then he was supposed to do another event the next day with the same group, and he was uninvited.
Yeah. That's so funny because he did the exact opposite at that Bob Saget roast. Did you see that story?
Yep.
Where like the producers were telling him, you gotta rip into him, you gotta get mean, you gotta get nasty, and Norm was like, well, Saget's my friend, and I don't want to do that.
He's a really nice guy.
And then he was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna do these really old, antiquated jokes, super easy, like alley-oop type stuff. And I'm gonna do the anti-roast.
Right.
It's just so funny. He's like, I'm in a crowd full of kids, and I'm going to do the dirtiest material I can think of. And then when he's in a room full of comics doing a roast, he's like, I'm going super in the opposite direction and doing the anti-joke. Fucking, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's too bad. It's too bad. And you know, it must be noted that he, much in the same vein of Chadwick Boseman, he had a very private battle with cancer for 9 years.
It's crazy.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Nobody did.
Nobody did.
Like,
Yeah,
I say that
I guess that's the point.
I had no idea.
Yeah. He never told me. Yeah.
And that's, you know, and I guess his representatives or his manager, somebody said that he, like, the best part about, you know, doing jokes and being a stand-up comedian is like the surprise and like getting the one over on the audience, and he never wanted his health to affect how people perceived his material.
Right.
And so that's why he kept it private, because it was like, it didn't matter. I just wanted to make people laugh and surprise people with, like, you know, something that they weren't expecting. If they based their thoughts on everything I did around the fact that I was dealing with this.
He didn't want a pity laugh.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to respect that.
Gotta respect it.
Gotta respect it. So yeah, cheers to the week to Norm Macdonald.
You're here.
All right. Do you think we got it?
I know we got it.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, we have to review these brewskis. So, Adam, what'd you think of these beers, my dude?
Surprisingly great.
Yeah.
We go back to the Voodoo Ranger from time to time because it's become so consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these I don't think have gotten much lower than a 4.5 in a lot of our reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, this one is right up along with those. I actually like it a little bit more than a lot of the more just strictly bitter Voodoo Rangers that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that guava is super pronounced, and I really like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give it a 5. I think this is one of their strongest outings yet, especially for a major conglomerate of a brewery like New Belgium. I'm impressed. Not bad.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking, you know what? You convinced me this time.
Okay.
I'm going 5 also. I was thinking 4.5, but you're right. This is one of their most impressive outings so far with this Voodoo Ranger series. Ever since the original Voodoo Ranger, This one in particular is very flavorful, but not in it's not in an offensive way or a way that like takes away from the IPA
or like artificial. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't taste like super artificial like some of these flavored fruity beers do.
Yeah, no, it's well balanced. That guava comes through. It's pretty good. This is one of the stronger outings of the Voodoo Ranger series. I know that like people who, drink a lot of craft beer probably don't even go to their local grocery store and grab craft beer anymore. But if you're curious about what New Belgium has done or this Voodoo Ranger series, how far it's come, I'd say pick this up. I'd recommend it.
Got this one at Publix.
There you go.
Yep.
Now I think we got it, right?
Yeah.
Let's get the fuck out of here. This has been the One Beer In podcast. For myself, Marco Dupa, for Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Say goodbye to your life.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer and have a beautiful evening.
We love you.
Love